Right, whatever it is.
That was for you, baby.
Hey champions, allow me to introduce you to author Loneka Ward and her Why My Mom story entitled, I Didn't Break It, But I Gotta Fix It. You see, in Loneka's story, it's a little different than many of the others. Loneka wasn't raised by her biological mother. You'll see in her story just why, what happened, and how it all unfolded. But I hope you discover in her story just how, even in your own pain, although it wasn't your fault, it is your responsibility to heal.
Loneka Ward. My Why My Mom story is at 2 years old, I was abandoned by my drug addict mother and father who simply could not get themselves together enough to take care of me, and I was pretty much pushed into my aunt's arms and forced to live with her and live a normal life. A normal life to me is your actual birth mother and father living in a home, growing up to be around them and know who you really are and know where you got certain things from, that you do. That's what a normal life to me is. My reality was, I wouldn't say far from normal, but it wasn't a two-parent home. It wasn't, knowing certain things and, knowing my actual family, where I actually come from and things of that nature. But I won't say that I had a bad home. It just wasn't your normal two-parent, at least birth father or birth mother, one of the two, lifestyle.
Have you ever talked to your mom to see what happened? Like, have you ever asked her? Your biological, I mean.
I've never asked my birth mom why she never come back for me, or why she never was able to get herself together enough to take me back, just because of, I don't think she possibly can at this point. I was interested to know, but I've never asked her.
Do you know anything about her past?
I don't know much about my mom's past. I just know that she was on drugs and she was just incapable of taking care of us. This happened when I was 2 years old, so, a lot of things I just really was blind to, or just, unaware of. As far as how I was picked up and the transition from my mom, grandma, dad, drug house, whatever, the transition, I don't recall. I mean, I was so small, and my aunt kind of explained to me the story, so I can't visualize it in my head, but she has told me, a few times, the story of how my grandma and my dad was there, and there's knives being pulled out, and I'm just kind of being thrown out on the porch in a diaper and a t-shirt, just kind of like, you want her, have her, just like nothing. It's just like a kid, just take her if you want her so bad. She ain't doing anything around here, so if you want her, come get her. And I don't really know the actual story, but I mean, I do believe that's how it happened. I just obviously don't remember, just because I was so small, and it wasn't that. I just don't remember what happened, but I do know what happened.
My name is Carlina L. Hines. When I took Loneka in when she was 2, it was very difficult for me. It was difficult for me because I was dealing with my own anger, because I had lost 3 children, and I couldn't understand why God would ask me to take care of somebody else's child, and knowing that I had lost my own child, all my own children. I didn't know Loneka. I had seen Loneka probably twice in her life. So I was becoming a single parent to a kid I didn't know, and I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. So the first year was very tasking. I had to do a lot of things, get her up, get her to a babysitter, cook for real, buy new clothes. I had somebody who was dependent on me, because I was single and I was free, and I came and I went as I wanted to. But then I had to take somebody else into consideration. So at first it was rough.
As far as me and my aunt, she tried very hard to be, the best mom that she could be to me. It's just that, us being 2 different people, obviously, she doesn't really know me. I don't really know her. We don't have the same emotion and things like that. So it was hard, living with somebody that's not really your actual mom and doesn't really understand why you have these anger problems. And, she's trying to understand, but doesn't really understand. We had a good relationship, but it was just points in time where we would struggle very hard just trying to have a good relationship with each other. Just because I was so angry at my birth mom for what she done, I've taken it out on my aunt that's trying her best for me.
When she started acting out about 10, the temper tantrums were very extreme. Throwing clothes out the closet, screaming, throwing the telephone into the wall, talking back. And I didn't think at that point I could do it, although I knew it was misplaced aggression. And I knew it wasn't really at me, but in the heat of the moment, you look at all I've sacrificed to help you, and this is what you're going to do. But I had to understand it wasn't really at me. I was a parental figure, and she was angry with her parents. So I did 2 things. Of course, I was always praying. I would have people to talk to her from another standpoint that she could see. But I also put her in therapy. And they taught her how to handle with her anger, that this is your anger, this is what you need to do, this is what you didn't need to do. I heard her say that she regretted it. There were times that I would go to bed and cry and wonder why, and God, I ain't signed up for all this. There was one time I did take her to the police station. It was closed, but I took her down there, and pretty much I can drop you off because I'm not going to continue to do this. But that was not the answer. The answer was to keep loving her, to keep praying with her, to keep being a little more patient with her. And I remember one night she said to me, I just hear these things in my head, and I think I'm supposed to say it out my mouth. And I understood that she was having her own struggle, her own battle, all this hurt she would hear, and she would just blurt it out. And when she said it to me, she said, my teachers think I'm mean, I'm disrespectful, but I'm not. I hear it and I say it. So then I knew, okay, you got to teach her what to say and how to say it. So after that understanding, and she would talk and I would pay a little more attention to a lot of things, it started to smooth itself out.
Me and my aunt now have a way better relationship than we did. We get along much better. I feel like now that I'm an adult, it's more so her coaching me through life, and not really, she's still a mother to me, but it's more so she's coaching me and helping me get through certain things. We have a way better relationship. She's good with her grandkids. I mean, she's always there for me when I need her. Even when I don't need her, she's right there. Our relationship has definitely shifted up since I've been an adult. And it took me to go through certain things to actually realize how much of an impact that she had in my life. And I didn't see, how blessed I was at first just by her being in my life. But now that I'm an adult and have my own children, I really see how amazing and how much she sacrificed to really take care of me when I wasn't even hers. I mean, being a mom and having my own kids is like, you took care of somebody else's kid, like you are major. I feel that my aunt really molded me into a different person than I could have been just by me living with my birth mom. I think she really shifted my life 180. She shifted my life around because I would have been grown up in the hood, you know, around the hood people, probably doing things I really shouldn't have been doing at a certain age. I feel like my aunt, she was a better woman. She was taking care of herself. She worked. She was a God-fearing woman. And my life would have just been completely different if she would have not gotten me out of there. And honestly, she didn't have to. She was an aunt that never really knew me or knew anything about me, but she really blessed my life. I mean, I know a lot of things that I could have been doing just by seeing my siblings and what they're doing. I could have really been a completely different person. In my head, I felt like I did forgive her, just because I told myself so many times that I just would forgive her, and I forgive her. I just try to tell myself. I've never gone to her and pretty much told her that. I never had any conversation about anything with her. But I feel like if I forgive her in my heart, that it would be off my chest.
Okay. But have you?
I'm not sure if I actually truly forgave her, just because I've never had the conversation with her.
Okay.
And I think that's like a part of it. So maybe I haven't. I think forgiving her would help me a lot with undercover things that I, may not know truly go with that type of trauma. It may have some connection with certain things that I already have going on. I just don't know. I think just because I don't really speak to her, I don't talk to her. It's kind of like, one of those things like out of sight, out of mind. And yeah, I don't speak to her at all. I mean, so it's kind of like, My normal now is literally waking up every day, being a mom, a wife, and consciously trying to find time for myself. I think I try to put a lot of things before myself that, I get kind of lost in the mix. But my normal now is just trying to be the best mom that I can be. And I don't want to try so hard to be the best mom that I end up being like my mom truly was, just by losing myself in my day-to-day life.
I'll be your hero. I'll be your strength when you need it most. You don't have to be alone. I'll be there, keep holding on. You don't have to worry, don't be scared. Love has never failed you yet. I'll be your hero.
To my biological mother, I want to thank you for being on drugs and not being able to take care of me and blessing me with a better life that you could not give me. And to my mother, I want to thank you for taking on such a big task and giving me such a good life that I truly didn't know how much I deserved you, and we deserved each other. I want to thank you for sacrificing so much for me to be in your life and, you know, just to have a better life. And you're awesome, and I love you so much, and thank you.
I'll be your hero. I'll be your strength when you need it most. You don't have to be alone. I'll be there, keep holding on. You don't have to worry, don't be scared. Love has never failed you yet. I'll be your
Right, whatever it is.
That was for you, baby.
Like,
no, I'm just
literally, that's what we
kidding.
heard.